stuff, and these freshwater fish species were omnivores. I wrinkled my nose and quickly flicked a few bloodworms into the water tank. "All right, kings and queens of the kingdom, enjoy your breakfast of champions," I said, closing the feeding flap on the top of the aquarium. Rap, rap. I spun around. An older man peered through the clinic windows, his knuckles knocking gently on the glass. It was Mr. Takei. I'd known him for years because he lived a few blocks away and always hung out at the community center where Mom worked. Most of the people who brought their animals to this small veterinary clinic were people from the neighborhood. That's what also made it fun. I got to know all my neighbors better, and I learned how to help them keep their pets healthy. Mr. Takei held up a large, clear plastic bag with yellow liquid inside. I knew just what that was. I unlocked the front door and retrieved the bag, careful to hold it by the zipped plastic top so the contents wouldn't spill on me. I scrunched up my nose, trying not to get a whiff of it. Yuck. Somehow I'd have to get used to these types of tasks if I wanted to be a veterinarian one day, like Dr. Stern. She tested animal blood, poop, and pee every day, not to mention handling the kingdom's bloodworms, too. "Good morning, Mr. Takei," I said. "How's Coco doing?" Coco was the Takei family's little gray pug. He'd been admitted 2 weeks ago for an upset stomach, and the pH level in his first urine test was abnormally high. I didn't know all the reasons why this was a bad thing, but that's exactly why I wanted to spend more time shadowing Dr. Stern at Eastside. I had so much to learn about working with animals. "Much better, Josie, thank you," Mr. Takei said, adjusting his eyeglasses. "But we'll see after this test, I suppose. Is your mother working at the community center today?" "Yep." I glanced at the clock behind me. "I think her shift starts at 11 or 12. "Wonderful. I'll see her there later on. Have a nice day, Josie, and thank you." "Happy to help. I'll give Coco's sample to Dr. Stern right away. Bye." I closed the door and carefully set the urine bag inside a small wire basket where it wouldn't tip over. I scribbled down Coco Takei's urine sample with today's date on a yellow sticky note and attached it to the bag. I pretended to take a picture of it with my fingers. Click, click. And imagined what message I'd text to Lucy, my best friend, if I had a cell phone. Lucy loved animals, but she got grossed out by things too, even more than me. It was hilarious. I felt my shoulders sag a little as I reached for the broom. At least, it used to be hilarious. Now things were just strange between us. I'd quit the gymnastics team back in January. Lucy and I had been gymnasts together forever. It's how we met back in 2nd grade. Even though we went to different schools, I went to public school and she went to private, the sport had always bonded us. We didn't have that anymore, and I could tell Lucy wasn't happy with me about it. Since I'd left the Level 5 team, it felt like every time I mentioned Dr. Stern or one of the animals I worked with, Lucy would roll her eyes or have some snarky comment. Often she'd zone out texting her private school friends, even though she knew that made me feel left out. Sure, we still hung out with the Three Stoops crew, what we called our neighborhood friends, but sometimes it was like my sweet best friend was transforming into my snarky 15-year-old sister, Sarah. My gaze shifted to the clock on the wall. 30 minutes into surgery. The back of my neck tingled, the way it always does when I'm worrying about things. I sighed and went back to keeping myself busy. I restocked the front desk display holders with pamphlets on pet insurance, city bus maps, and pet microchip information. I adjusted all the plastic lobby chairs until they were lined up at perfect angles. I checked on the kingdom again, and all the fish had gobbled up the remaining bits of food. A cat meowed loudly from down the hall. "You okay, Storm?" I called out as I leaned the broom and dustpan against the wall of the lobby bathroom. "Be right there." Just behind the front desk in the lobby was a swinging door. I pushed it open and entered the hallway where we kept the large wire kennels containing animals we treated and boarded. There were 4 kennels, 2 stacked on top of 2, tucked away from the main lobby of the clinic, but before you reach the surgery door. I stuck my fingers into one of the top cages, feeling the giant cat's soft orange fur against my skin. Normally, I wouldn't touch a caged cat. Being cooped up and away from their families sometimes made